On today's episode, we're breaking down the stories you need to know, starting with the sitting U.S. Congresswoman pepper sprayed during an ICE raid, Trump deleting MLK Day and Juneteenth from the National Parks calendar to replace them with his own birthday, the first real signs of hope for the National Guardsman shot outside the White House, Trump's new student loan explosion that will choke America's nursing pipeline, the internal revolt at DHS as Kristi Noem's future collapses, the billion-dollar corporate capitulation to kill DEI for Trump's approval, Trump publicly admitting to a quid-pro-quo pardon, Marjorie Taylor Greene exposing her own party's fear of Trump, and a billionaire's unhinged call to bring back public hangings in America. This is In the Know, unredacted. Let's get into it. Arizona just witnessed what this immigration crackdown really looks like when it's unleashed with zero restraint. Representative Adelita Grijalva walked into a restaurant she eats at weekly, only to find herself in the middle of an ICE raid where agents were firing pepper spray indiscriminately at protesters, at bystanders, at credentialed reporters, at her. There's a video of journalists being hit in the face, pepper balls detonating at Grijalva's feet, but DHS is mocking her, claiming if she was actually sprayed, it would be a medical marvel. They are denying footage that millions have seen. ICE arrested multiple workers, the same worst of the worst they brag about, even though nearly half the people they detain have zero criminal record, and Grijalva said the quiet part out loud. If this is how they treat a member of Congress, what happens to people with no title and no protection? The answer is the entire point of this crackdown. Aside from that, this administration quietly removed MLK Day and Juneteenth from the National Park Service's free entry calendar. They replaced them with Donald Trump's birthday. A holiday commemorating liberation? Deleted. A holiday honoring civil rights? Gone. But hey, free park access to celebrate an 80-year-old narcissist's existence. Trump looked at MLK and said, what if we celebrated me instead? He kept Flag Day, because it's his birthday. DEI is banned, Black Remembrance Day is erased, and now Trump writes himself into a government holiday calendar like a dictator with a spray tan. This is not patriotism, it's authoritarian self-worship. But we finally have some good news in the tragic attack near the White House. Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolfe, shot in the head, rushed into emergency surgery, fighting for his life, is healing. His parents say his swelling is going down, he's starting to look like himself again. Doctors expect improvement over the next 2 to 3 weeks. This is the best update since the shooting that killed specialist Sarah Beckstorm and left Wolfe in critical condition. Wolfe's family says the support and prayers are helping. Right now he needs every single one. The next story is absolutely mind-blowing. Trump's education department just capped loans for advanced nursing degrees at $100,000, while law students and medical students can still borrow $200,000. So the people who literally keep you alive in the ICU, not worth equal funding. Programs already facing shortages will collapse. Faculty pipelines will shrink. Low-income and first-gen students, the backbone of future nursing, will be pushed out. And because Trump killed the Grad Plus program, anyone who needs above the cap is shoved into predatory private lenders. Hospitals are drowning, ER wait times are exploding, community is desperate for nurses. Trump's solution? Make it nearly impossible to become one. And this next story will have you on your toes. According to multiple former DHS officials from both parties, Trump is actively considering firing Kristi Noem. Not later. Soon. Inside DHS, staff described conditions as fucked. Their words. They're furious. At Noem's incompetence, at Corey Lewandowski's weird influence, at Noem publicly humiliating herself, praising Trump for controlling hurricanes. Trump is now floating Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin as a replacement, a man who didn't even want an immigration job. One current DHS official said, they're going to destroy this place. I just hope the new secretary gets here in time. This is the same DHS brutalizing immigrants and staging propaganda videos. Let it crack. This next story will have you questioning your mobile carrier. A leaked letter shows AT&T ended all DEI programs, not for performance, not for workers, but to secure a Trump-approved billion-dollar wireless spectrum deal. They literally wrote that they ended DEI, not just in name, but in substance. T-Mobile did the same for a $4 billion deal. Comcast is now under investigation as well. This is the new Trump business model. Kill diversity, and we'll give you your merger. Ben Crump said it best. Corporations aren't choosing what's right. They're negotiating with fear. This next story is having Trump question his pardons. Trump pardoned Democratic Representative Henry Cuellar on bribery charges, and then immediately went online furious that Cuellar didn't switch parties afterwards. He is publicly upset that his pardon didn't purchase a political favor. Translation, Trump expected a payoff. He did not get it. and he's whining about the return policy. Legal experts say this is essentially Trump admitting the pardon was a political transaction. He pardoned someone for bribery, with bribery. And speaking of turning on Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene, of all people, just detonated her own party on national television. She said Republicans privately mocked Trump, mocked how he talks, mocked her for supporting him, then instantly flipped after he won the primary and started kissing his ass. Her exact words. She said Republicans in Congress are terrified of him, terrified of being targeted, terrified of his followers. She said Trump called her a traitor over the Epstein files, and threats even reached her son. A sitting member of Congress just admitted the GOP isn't united by loyalty, it's held together by fear. This next story is so unhinged, it'll make you uncomfortable just hearing it. Joe Lonsdale, billionaire, Palantir co-founder, Silicon Valley mega donor, openly called for bringing back public hangings in America. He said people with 3 violent crimes should be quickly tried and publicly executed as part of restoring masculine leadership. Experts immediately pointed out, this is lynch mob language. This is extremist rhetoric. This is authoritarian escalation. A man who funds a college on ethical leadership is now fantasizing about medieval public executions. This isn't a bad take. It's a red flag authoritarian manifesto. That's today's full breakdown. The stories shaping the country, the stories others won't connect, and the stories most people never hear in the same place. Stay alert, stay focused, stay in the know.